What's going on? You are watching today my live podcast, Sex with Stevie, the sister podcast to Tagspodcast, talk about gay sex. And we've been going strong for the last several weeks. I love this show. It's a call-in show, and the number to call in is 908-312-1015. I'm going to put that in the comments section here if you're watching on our Facebook page. 908-312-1015, and I am just making sure that I am looking good. Frank Pond is checked in. He misses the mesh tank top that I did in my promo videos. Well, the thing about the mesh tank top is that when you sit down, you kind of squash a little bit, and it's not always the most flattering, so everything has to do with mediums. So I decided I had it on and I nixed it at the last minute because I didn't really like the way I was looking in this particular medium, but I hope you like this. I hope everyone is tuning in. I hope you have your cocktail. We've got a great live show ahead of you here. I'm so excited. I've got some special guests calling in. Plus, Kodi is also calling in, my co-host, and I hope you have a cocktail too. Cheers to you. Happy Thursday. And on that note, with it being Thursday, I wanted to share with you that I was a guest on a podcast the other day, and a guy that's been looking at listening to our show for quite some time. He is Mr. Bullet Leather. He has a podcast, Leather Talk Mr. Bullet. Again, it's Leather Talk Mr. Bullet. Bullet Bar is in North Hollywood in the Los Angeles area, and he went out to become Mr. Bullet Leather and won, and he's the current reigning leather guy. And he's been listening to Tag's podcast for a while here and asked me to be a guest on his show. And that's one of the cool things about podcasting, as when we started Tag's podcast, there were only a few other kind of gay-related podcasts out there. There weren't a whole lot of them. And I've noticed there's been so much more, particularly now. And he's definitely one of them, and I love his focus on the leather community. He asked me to be on the show, and we had such a great conversation. The show's going to come out soon. We talked all about when I ran for Mr. New York Eagle Leather, or I think it's called Mr. Eagle. I think that's what it's called. I don't know. But one of the things that we were talking about is how you're dealing with coronavirus and how are you self-quarantining. And one of the things that I said that's keeping me sane is taking a day or two, or almost every day, to kind of get dressed up. So like for this show, I get really excited to do for you because it's live streaming, it's video, and I like to get a look together. And I've got, my studio set up and everything. And it reminds me of when I would get ready to go out on a Thursday night, which I often did back in the day, if we can remember those days. And today it was, I decided, because of that interview and talking about that, I decided to get a little bit more kind of into it. And you're not going to be able to see all of it, but one of the things that I put on, I ordered these. One of our guests, Gregory Nalbone, inspired me, and these, I just dropped something there. Excuse me, see, when you're doing stuff at home here, it's like you're a hot mess. That's all I got to say. And I am no different. So I've got my biker boots on, and I've got these garter straps on that typically you would buy to put on your dress socks, but I love them. I think they make me feel sexy. And anytime we can feel sexy during this quarantine, even if it's for yourself, hey, you got to do it, right? So I'm wearing these for you. I'm wearing these like biker boots that they're actually pretty comfortable. They're more comfortable when I'm out and about, not necessarily sitting here. And I've got these mesh shorts on. I don't know if you can really see. Anyways, and a G-string. Maybe I'll show you a little bit later, but we'll see. But you know, one of the other things you can do to kind of feel sexy about yourself during this time is even wear cologne for yourself. And I've got this Tom Ford Tobacco Vanilla, and I'm just spraying it here because, hey, you gotta like spruce it up or you will go literally nuts. I'm just saying. That's all I got to say. Well, this is the live podcast, Sex with Stevie. I got some great guests calling in this next hour, along with Kodi. And before my first guest calls in, I thought I'd share with you a couple of things that I've been doing during quarantine. Are you guys into vinyl? Because vinyl is such a nostalgic thing that I used to be when I was a kid, and I just love it so much. And I got myself a while back a really cool Audio-Technica. They're so cheap these days, you can get them. And I got myself one, and then I discovered all of the vinyl that you can buy. And one of the vinyl that I bought was one of my favorites, Janet Jackson, and this remix of Miss You Much. And I pulled it out the other day, and I kind of lay my vinyl out. I've got sort of a podium that you can put like an on deck type of situation. And so I put this one out because I miss you all so much. I miss my family and friends so much, and I miss Janet. And Janet was one of the people that I had tickets for her upcoming concert, the Black Diamond Tour, that I'm not sure if it's going to get rescheduled or what's going to happen. I'm assuming it's going to get rescheduled. But in the meantime, I can play this, and I have kind of parties for one and do this kind of thing at home that is super fun and I love. And you know, you've just got to, it's a constant refresh every single day of just making it work for you and keeping yourself interested. So, you know, that's all I got to say. Again, you are listening to my live podcast, Sex with Stevie. I hope you have a cocktail. A couple questions for you. What's your cocktail of choice? I'm going to look at the commentary and see what's everyone drinking. Tatiana, a good friend of mine, Amelia. Tatiana, happy 25th birthday. Wishing you a happy birthday. I hope you're doing something special and having a cocktail with me right now and enjoying the show. Jesus Gonzalez, hello, sexy, back at ya. Who else is David P. Witchman? I think I got that right, David? Has got our book. He was my guest last week, and I love his book, Every Grain of Sand. I highly recommend that. My friend, dear friend, Gregory just got it, and I think he's reading that. Let me know what you're drinking, even if it's a mocktail. Let me know. On a sexy note, I have a question because we are working with Adam's Toy Box right now, adamstoybox.com. If you go to checkout, everything is 20% off. Use our promo code TAGS, T-A-G-S, and they've got a bunch of lubes. Let me know what lube you're using during this quarantine while I get this on. Hey, hello, caller, is this DJ Justin Dawson?
DJ Justin Dawson, how's it going?
Good. Thank you for calling in for my show, Sex with Stevie.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I wanted you to call into the show because I think you're a very popular DJ Justin Dawson here in New York, and I know you travel, you play in clubs, bars, but during this COVID-19, you've gotten creative and you partnered up with, it's called Not Your Average, or NYA Presents, and you essentially, along with other people, perform on Instagram Live every single Friday, and the proceeds go to a different cause every week. Can you just talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, as you probably know, a lot of industries that require lots of people and crowded situations are suffering right now. That includes bars, clubs, and as a DJ, I'm pretty much out of work. But aside from that, I really miss connecting with people in a real life setting. And I think a lot of people are feeling that right now. So I teamed up with my buddy, Alex Dropo. He's actually a trainer. And together we kind of came up with this initiative called Not Your Average Presents. And Not Your Average is kind of just telling you that these times are not average. And so this is like not your average collection of artists and creatives that are coming together, and not your average platform either. So yeah, anyway, so every Friday we come together, we put together a lineup of DJs, singers, musicians, trainers, educators, and we come together at different points during the day and into the evening to just connect with each other and share our knowledge, share our good vibes, and just have a good time. So yeah, it's been really great. And each, like you said, each week we pick a different charity that benefits from any money that we raise.
Yeah, and I was on there last week, and it's a lot of fun, and I love your music in general, which I want to talk to you a little bit more about in a second. But each week, how did you go about picking the various organizations that you wanted to benefit? And up to date, I guess it's a two-part question, because up to date, you're up to how much money you've raised?
Yeah, I actually just checked in with Alex this evening, and as of now, we've been doing it, going on 9 weeks now. We raised $4,710 to be exact.
Wow.
Yeah, and you know, it's kind of started as just our idea to. I think a lot of people are wanting to do more. It's tough when we're stuck at home. We're all feeling a little bit helpless, and we know that these frontline responders, for example, are out there every day. But one way that we can help is to contribute to organizations that might be in need. And so we've gone out and sought organizations that are doing direct response efforts relating to COVID. Direct Relief is one of them. It's a nonprofit that helps with frontline medical help. But not only that, like organizations like the Ali Center, which helps homeless and at-risk LGBT youth here in New York City. The New York City Food Bank is another one that we've done. Actually, 2 weeks we dedicated to the food bank here in New York. You've
also done the Actors Fund, and one of the things I was talking to you offline is I don't think a lot of you hear about so many people struggling, and here in New York, Broadway is such a mainstay for so many people, and not just the actors, it's the people that work behind the scenes, and it's the actors that are ensemble. And last week, I think you were doing the Actors Fund, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I think we have to kind of do what we can to think of people who might not be top of mind as people that might be in need. And it's not only, obviously my circle is mostly people in nightlife, but I do have friends who are actors on Broadway who work in these industries, makeup artists, like you mentioned, stage production, stage hands, things like that. All these industries are really suffering right now. So, like I said, we don't want to be kind of siphoned into one category. We want to do what we can, and so yeah, last week was a great opportunity to raise money for the Actors Fund. So that was great.
Well, I was on there last week, and I already love your music because I know of you here in the city. I've seen you spin, and I love your groove. And I say a groove because it's house music, but you get down and dirty, and I love it so much. But I have to ask you, with this time frame, what's it like spinning? I'm assuming you're spinning in your house, your apartment where you live, and You do actually do a good job of lighting because you light yourself like it looks like you're on any DJ platform. What's it like spinning for Instagram Live and without having like the crowd of people dancing in front of you?
Oh yeah, I mean that's one of the things I enjoy most about DJing is being able to connect with people in real time and in a room and just build that energy in a space where we're all together. I mean, obviously we're not able to do that remotely, at least not in the same way. So we've had to get a little bit creative with sort of making something that's visually stimulating on Instagram. So yeah, I do have some like LED colored lights that are kind of going off, gives like a little bit of a club vibe. My sister's idea was to use the humidifier that I have as a smoke machine.
Oh my God, I love it.
That.
I did know a little like fog kind of in the background.
Yeah. You know, it brings the effect, but you know, we work with what we've got. But yeah, I've been getting a really cool response. I was really excited when you reached out. I'm glad that you tuned in. I feel like every week we're getting new people that are just finding out about what we're doing, and hopefully you'll come back. You know, but
definitely,
you know, it's cool.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate it. You know, because yeah, we can't be together in person, but this is a little morsel of togetherness that we can share, and it's so cool to look back and see people's comments in real time as I'm playing, and you know, responding to what music I'm playing, and also interacting with each other. It's like, you know, something that we probably would never have thought of as a platform to be used in this way until this pandemic. And so, you know, it's a tribute to ingenuity and creativity. You know, we'll get through this.
Absolutely. Where can people go to tune in every week?
So yeah, what's really cool about what we're doing, it's really easy for artists to participate if they're interested, and for people to tune in whenever they're able to. It's so we have a Instagram account called NYA Presents. So you can go there to gather any information, as well as a link to whichever fundraiser that whichever organization we're donating to that particular week. But for the artists' performances, all you have to do is tune into their page during their time slot, and you'll be able to hear them. So,
and Justin, you're at DJ Dawson, correct?
Exactly. I'll be on tomorrow night at 8 p.m. at DJ Dawson NYC.
Okay, I put that in the comments. I'll list it on Tagspodcast.com. And before I let you go, a couple fun personal things. I was scrolling around on your Facebook page, and it looks like, I don't know if this is new or not, but have you gotten into running during this time frame?
Oh, well, you know, a lot of people don't know this about me, but I've been a runner my entire life.
Oh.
Yeah. I ran pretty competitively in high school and then for a bit in college. So it's always been something that I've done, but I've kind of made it a point recently to post it more because, as a lot of people are aware, there was an incident where a young man, Ahmaud Arbery, was shot down in Georgia just for going for a run. You know, it was, and so that's another.
Right.
Yeah, it's another topic that's kind of top of my mind. Like, yeah, we're going through a pandemic, but there's other examples of injustice that are continuing to happen. And so it's been important for me to just showcase or just put myself out there as like, yeah, I'm a black guy who loves to run. You guys might not know this about me, but, you know, whether it's just visibility or to post in solidarity with the cause. You know, a lot of people, I think last Friday actually was Ahmaud's, what would have been his birthday. And so throughout social media, a lot of people committed to running on that day and use a hashtag I run with Maud in dedication to him and to fighting for equality and justice and
yeah, we can't
justice
forget
reform here in America.
we can't forget these things, and I so commend you for that because it's so important. Because yeah, it's such atrocities. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
And then real quick before I go, I was noticing that you did tune into. There's a lot of live stream stuff going on, and one of them that it looked like you may have tuned in was the battle between Jill Scott and Erykah Badu, two artists I've seen in concert several times. Although Erykah, I kind of jumped off the wagon for a while because I don't know, for obvious reasons. But in your opinion, can we just get who won the battle, or did they play their
It's tough, you know. Like what I love about this whole versus battle. Like there was another one a couple weeks ago with Teddy Riley and
Babyface.
Babyface, yeah, and it's such a cool idea to bring these artists in this sort of idea of like a battle or a duel. But at the end of the day, what's really happening is just a celebration of culture and these brilliant creators who've brought us this music. And what strikes me is like, wow, I didn't even realize sometimes like that Babyface wrote that song for Toni Braxton or you know.
Or
so
from Madonna, even at one point.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Forget what it's called. Take a Bow. Yeah, right.
Yeah. So that's what I got out of that whole thing. It's just like a celebration of music. I mean, but I have to say, as a native of Dallas, I have to go. I don't know if I had to choose between Erykah or Jilly from Philly, I would have to go with Erykah Badu because she's from my hometown. So.
Okay. Well, she was my first. I saw her before I saw Jill, so okay, I'll go with that.
There you go.
DJ Justin Dawson, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure for calling in. I'm going to list all of the things on our page so people can tune in tomorrow. And you're doing such a good thing. And people can also, it's not just you, there's other artists. And
exactly.
Is there one place that everybody can go to that you can say one more time that you can kind of see the lineup?
The best way to see the lineup would be to go to NYA Presents on Instagram, and at the GoFundMe that's linked in the bio, you'll get the link to donate if you'd like to the cause for the week, as well as a lineup right beneath that. So.
Got it.
This week it's going to be great. We've got a singer. His name is Anthony Cherry. He's originally from Scotland, but he lives here in New York. Then we've got a workout with Alex Dropo. We've got Derek Montero, who's I consider to be kind of my DJ twin, but from the West Coast. He's amazing. He's from Los Angeles. We've got Josh Applebaum from he's one third of the group Occupy the Disco, based here in New York. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. I'm really excited for it.
I'm going to list all of that. That's so cool. I'm going to tune in. Thank you so much.
It's been such a pleasure. Thank you for having me. And, you know, everybody hang in there and, you know, stay encouraged, keep creating, stay connected. Yeah, thank you.
Words to live by. Thank you so much, Justin. I'll talk with you soon, I hope.
All right. See you guys tomorrow night.
Yes, exactly. I'll be there. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. Ciao.
Wow, I love that guy. And honestly, his music is so good. I'm going to list all of it. DJ Justin Dawson is, he's so good. It's like groove, sexy, house beats, all the things you love. And I will list all of it, but I think I listed it here on Instagram. If you go to @NYA Presents, they've got the whole lineup. Follow them, and they did a good job of putting the different times that you can follow. Back to my question on what lube you're using. I saw some responses here, and let me go to my commentary here because it's. Let me see. Amelia, you're in Central Islip, Long Island. Okay, nice. I wish I was there. My goodness, it must be nice. I think I saw David Witchman say something about wet as the lube of choice currently right now. And we talked to you last week, so we know that you're getting in a good pounding every day with your boy, which I love. I'm looking for some of the current comments, and I know they are here. This thing is so complicated sometimes. Anyways, before my co-host Kodi, who I started the show off with, is going to be calling a little bit later in the show, and I love Kodi, and we're going to catch up on a bunch of stuff. I have a caller calling in shortly that I think you need to stay tuned to, so pour yourself another cocktail because it's going to get juicy in just a second. There was a couple things that I wanted to personally talk about before my next caller calls in. Let me look at my notes. Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I was laughing at was, do you find yourself buying random things constantly? I mean, we're all, you're not spending money on restaurants or anything like that, right? So I kind of have been buying some good things and bad things. In a good note, I bought these yoga blocks, and I'm getting back into doing the splits, if you can believe it. A friend of mine, I used to be a gymnast, so it's not that crazy, but the blocks can kind of help you with that. So that's a good thing. On a random note, though, I bought one of these things that it's like, I don't know, it's supposed to be to increase the circulation in your skin. And so I've been doing these like at-home spas with everything, and I don't know that it's really working, but hey, when in doubt, get the fragrance and spritz a little bit more and feel a little bit good. That's all we can do, right? Yeah. What are we drinking? Let me know what you're drinking because I want to know. Just looking at some comments here before we move on to my next guest. Yeah, what are you cooking? What are you drinking? How are you staying sexy? Are you getting dressed up on particular days? I want to know because these are the things, like I was telling you earlier, I got dressed up today and I had started a accessory line for a minute that I'm still going to probably get to. Excuse me on that. That's our next caller. Let me get that. Hey there, is this Greg McKeon?
Yes, this is Greg McKeon. How are you today?
I'm really good. Thank you for calling in to my live podcast, Sex with Stevie.
For sure. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Well, I definitely wanted you on the show because you are definitely keeping it sexy during this pandemic, and you've done, we'll list how people can follow you in a minute, and I've known you for years when I lived in LA. One of the things that I love about you and I is that you were a former gymnast like myself.
Yes, I was.
Yeah, which I love, and I love seeing your workouts and such. But you've also done gay porn, and you're married. Your husband Colton, both of you have done gay porn before, but you've really done so well with your OnlyFans page. And I wanted to kind of talk to you. Have you noticed during this period, because I think the last few times I was in LA, I saw you've ran a couple nights, promo nights in LA, you've danced in certain nights. Well, obviously you're not doing that anymore. Have you put most of your focus towards your OnlyFans right now?
Yeah, definitely. I used to work as a personal trainer and as a go-go boy for the last 10 years in LA. And since both of those opportunities have ended, now I've been doing OnlyFans full-time, which has actually been really great. Everyone's staying home, so a lot of people are on social media and finding the site and joining it. So, I mean, there's really not a lot of complaints I have about not doing the other two jobs right now, because OnlyFans is taking up all my time, and it's a lot of fun. There's a lot of great people that I've been able to talk to through doing it and connect with, which is one of my favorite parts of doing it, is getting to meet the different fans from all over the world.
Well, one of the things I really love about OnlyFans, and I've talked to different porn stars, that, you know, throughout the years, porn has dwindled in so many different ways, particularly not because people don't want to watch it, but because it's become so readily available. I mean, anybody can go on Pornhub or XTube and all these different sites and get it. And so what I really love about OnlyFans is that it's really made performers like yourself create your own content. And have you found that kind of, as somebody that likes to create content, have you found that kind of, you know, do you like that side of it?
Yeah, I think OnlyFans is a place for people that want to support independent artists and support people that are making their own content. We can all go to different websites and get stolen content, but I think there's something that I know for me, it feels good about joining someone's page you like and supporting them, rather than trying to just search and find the free content. I don't mind having some of the free content up there. I don't like when people leak the entire library, but it does make my job easier to market my site if there's little bits and pieces, different places on the internet from people leaking stuff. So, I mean, it doesn't all have it's not all bad, but it is a little bit hard to see your entire library posted on different sites. And then that's when I'd usually try to get those kinds of things taken down if I could, which is another aspect of the job.
Well, there's a side of OnlyFans that's kind of cool, which sort of has this amateur side to it. And as opposed to, say, the slick porn videos that we watch that have lights, camera, action, and lines. I think you and I were talking offline that, you know, they'll often create a scene and it's, you know, totally canned. But do you like sort of the amateur side of the videos that you create?
I like doing it myself. When you're making your own videos, you have to take into consideration how you're setting up the shot, the lighting, what the scene's going to look like. I'm always trying to put a little bit of thought into it, so trying to think of if I've seen anything recently that I wanted to try out position-wise, or things to say, or like sometimes I'll come up with like a list of things I want to incorporate into a video. But for me, it would be really boring to make the same video the same way every time. But everyone's different, but sometimes it isn't as sexy as off-camera hookup, and that's the thing, that it is still work, and you do have to still think of a lot of things, because if you just let the passion take over, then you could miss the shot. And when I first started, sometimes I would get really into the person I was hooking up with and not into setting everything up. And now I know, okay, take a second, set everything up, tell the guy he's cute and you need a minute, and then get on the way with it, you know? So
I love
being
it.
a professional definitely, I think, helps make the content look more professional. But I've been doing it now for 3 years. So my advice to new people is just to keep practicing and keep learning about what makes a video good for your fans, because some people like that kind of super amateur look with bad lighting, with a shaky camera, feeling like they're right there, where other people want it properly lit and they want to see everything in high definition. So it just depends on what your kind of brand is and what you're going for.
One of the things we talked about is that you're married. Colton is your husband, correct?
Yes.
And you, he also has his OnlyFans page, and you were telling me offline that you run his page. Do you guys ever collaborate and work together? Do fans like seeing the two of you?
So for my page, it's my real life sex page. And people that come to it can expect to see the real life sex. Although sometimes we do think about what we want to do in the video, it is still at the end of the day what we're only going to do. It's not like we're forcing ourselves to hook up with people we don't want to. And our kind of agreement with our relationship is that if the other person's there and the other person wants to join, they're always invited. So for me and him, we do travel a lot together, and we do have a lot of free time together. So for our sites, a lot of the videos have been threesome videos, and now with the quarantine, we're going just to one-on-one videos. So yeah, you can definitely expect both of us on both pages. But on my page, I have, over the past couple of years, definitely filmed a few more one-on-ones than he has. So definitely, I think there's cool content on both pages. And right now, I have one page that I made for free during this whole stay-at-home thing, so that if you're at home and you want to check out the content, but you're trying to save money, which is totally understandable, there's a free page to keep you entertained.
What's that link, just so we can list it right now? And by the way, if you just tuned in, I'm on a call with McKeon, who's an OnlyFans sensation, a super hottie, and a very good marketer with all of his content. Give me some of those links, and I'll put it in the comment section. I'll also put it on Tagspodcast.com.
The onlyfans.com/Greg McKeon, my name. That's the free one. And then I have like the VIP one with all the full-length videos. And that one is onlyfans.com/Krug is the word. And that is GRGISTHEWERD. And that's also my Twitter, Krug is the word. So that if you want to follow me on social media and send me a message and tell me that you're listening to this podcast, I'll give you a follow back. And we can definitely connect on social media.
Tell me your Twitter again. It's GRG.
ISTHEWERD. Like my name without an E.
Greg is the word.
With an E. Yeah, Greg is the word.
I got it. I love it. Like Grease is the word. I love it. Very cool. So, and real quick, because I had a couple other questions, then one of them you and I talked about offline is, let me just find my question. So are you finding that people are I know what I wanted to ask you is that, you know, a lot of people think that they can go on OnlyFans, and it's such a great, I love it, it's such a great tool. What's your advice for people that want to go on there? Because you were telling me offline that it's not necessarily about being the most popular or being the biggest, best looking porn star. There's something different. It's about marketing. Is that what you were saying?
Yeah, I mean, to have a successful page, you have to have people be able to find your page. So a lot of OnlyFans is it's kind of a mysterious site. There's not a lot of model discovery, for example. You can't just search through and see a bunch of previews. I also do another site called Just for Fans, and Just for Fans is run by a guy who's been in gay porn for years, Dominic, and he made the site because OnlyFans is run by a kind of mysterious company that no one really knows, and where he is trying to be more of like I'm a gay porn sex worker and this is for sex workers. So I'm on both pages. But on Just for Fans, there's a lot of model discovery, so you can search by keywords or search by categories, and kind of like Pornhub, where there's a lot of ways to find models. But OnlyFans doesn't have that. So on OnlyFans, if you have a page, the best way to grow it is by doing shout-outs. And this is a little bit controversial because some people don't like feeling like they're paying for a page and then seeing ads for other people's pages. So what we do for the shout-outs is we always make sure that we find sexy guys that we want to work with, and then we ask our fans if they'd like to see us work with the different models. And then eventually, once the pandemic's over, if we're allowed to film with people, then we'll go around and try to film with all the different people. So for me, it's a sexy way to find new guys and to get kind of feedback on what people like and who people like and what people want to see in the future. And if you have a page and you want to give it a boost, also send me a message and we can do a shout out for you as well.
I love it. I love it. And I have a request because as a former gymnast, a naked workout would be really cool from you. And my challenge to you is I'm starting handstand training again. So I challenge you to a handstand training video.
Naked handstand video. Yeah,
Yeah.
handstands are
Naked.
a lot of fun. Yeah, I haven't been working on handstands. I've been working at home during the quarantine on juggling clubs.
Oh, wow.
I always wanted to juggle clubs, and now I've kind of self-taught myself. And then the goal is eventually to get to fire and knives, but that's
Wow. Well,
I'm hoping we don't get locked in the house long enough that at the end of it I know how to juggle fire.
yeah, really, seriously. I mean, I'm starting fires here, just cooking up some stir fry here. So, yeah, I mean, and that's just stir fry, so much less juggling. Anyways, Greg, thank you so much. I'm such a big fan of you anyway, because you're such an entrepreneur. You're super sexy and hot. I will list all the links on my page and at tagspodcast.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me. And next time you're in LA, reach out. Definitely like to see you again.
Absolutely, will do.
All right, bye-bye, guys.
Bye. Oh my gosh, I love him too. Such an amazing guy. He's a former gymnast, and I love my former gymnasts because there's something about us that we don't lose. We lose a lot, believe me, don't get me wrong. He doesn't, but I do. But I've been getting back into that world of stretching and all that stuff, and highly recommend following him. I'm going to I list a few things if you could follow his Twitter, it's one of the best ways, at Greg is the word, GRG is the word, WERD on Twitter. And he's got all the listings of how you can follow him, including some free ways too. Free ways is how you can do that. And he even has some hot, sexy stuff, clips that you can see on there that's really, really amazing. So I love it. In a second, Kodi is going to be calling me here, which I can't wait for him to call in because we have so much to catch up on. And is our good friend Silas in LA? Silas, are you tuned in? Our good friend from LA is tuning in, Silas, and I love it. And I had asked a couple questions about your favorite lube during this quarantine because for a lot of us, we're using toys and such, and different lubes are different. And I was talking about our sponsorship that we have with Adam's Toy Box. And let me get this call. Hey, Kodi,
Hello.
Maurice, my co-host.
Hello.
Hello. I am good this week. I am doing good.
Yeah. Good.
How the F are you?
I am okay. Getting better. The beginning of the week was a little bit rough, but I'm doing better due to the support of family and friends and people that I care about. So, yeah.
It's true. And, we talked briefly about this last week, and definitely, you can definitely find yourself in ebbs and flows during this, quarantine pandemic. It's crazy, right?
Yeah, definitely. The things that pop up during quarantine, some of them are unexpected. Some of them are, unforeseen. Yeah, and you never know how you're going to relate to them and how you're going to just react to them. So this week has been a struggle, and I'm making it through. So
good. I'm glad, and thank you for your honesty. And one of the things I was sharing with everybody when we started the show is one of the ways that I can get myself out of a funk on certain days is to kind of dress up. So I look forward to this show. I'm on camera, but beyond that,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean? But on the other hand, I look forward to kind of getting dressed up as if I was going out on a Thursday night, which I often did. I often met you out, and
Yep.
and I think you need those days of just party for one and kind of, you know, it feels sexy if nothing else for yourself, right?
Yeah, it's good. I actually put on regular clothes today, and it's amazing. It kind of did help that I got a whole. While I was in my low point, I bought a whole new like summer wardrobe.
Wow!
And it kind of came today.
Oh my goodness! I wish we had video on you.
Me too. I look super cute.
Oh my God! Well, you're always cute, but wow. Okay. Maybe
Thank
put a.
you.
I don't know if
Thank
there's a way
you.
to put a picture in the Facebook, but if you can, do so.
I am not that technologically advanced.
Okay. I have a lot to talk with you here, so including Drag Race, because we love to do our wrap up. We're going to get to that at the end. The question tonight, one of the questions I've been asking different people is, what's your favorite lube during this quarantine? And do you have a favorite lube? Because in the past, I don't know, I think I grabbed like something at the bar, that whatever they had in the packets, and I don't know that I really paid attention, but now I'm getting a little bit more creative, and there's different, you know.
Okay. I got a whole breakdown for this.
I knew you would.
Normally, I am a Uber Lube dude. I really like that one.
What is it called?
Uber Lube.
Uber Lube.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And it comes in a sexy bottle. It's beautiful. And it's a great lube. It's latex friendly. It's water based. Just great. Everything. I love it. So I use that for my friends when they come over.
Your friends.
My friends. I have, in the quarantine, I've been using a lot of lotion. I've gone through like 3 bottles already. But I have to say, coconut oil. I hooked up with this dude one time, and we used coconut oil, and it was amazing.
Oh.
I don't know if it was just a hot session or what was going on with it, but the coconut oil.
No, honey, coconut oil is everything. For a minute, I was like bottling it up. I was gargling with it because I heard that it, and I tend to become obsessive with things. So, I think it's a really good. I'm going to, though, put that question out to our good Dr. Goldstein to see if it's okay to like put up the ass.
Is it healthy? Yeah,
you know
exactly.
what I mean? But I would imagine it would be, and
it's all natural. That's all I know.
If anybody else knows what, tell me before we go off here and tell me what you're using. But if I like those natural, I was looking in my cabinet, because isn't this such a time of rediscovery? Aren't you discovering little treasures in your own apartment? And one of the treasures that I discovered was almond oil that is really good for the skin, obviously, but also can be a really good lube too. And it smells good, and I don't know. I think we're getting creative here, right?
Yeah. You know what? Desperate times call for desperate measures. That's what I have to say.
Absolutely.
And
how is it going? How is it going with the guy that you? Each week we like to check in with you because in case you're tuned in new to the show, Kodi is my co-host, and someday he's going to be sitting next to me, and I can't wait for that period. I know it's coming up soon. But I
can't wait.
Me too. And Kodi started dating a guy prior to self-quarantine. And each week we like to check in with him. And how is it going?
It's going well. Like I said, I have been in like one of the lower slumps of quarantine. So he really showed up for me. We had to cancel I said last week that we had a date planned on Sunday.
Correct.
I had to postpone it. So we have it rescheduled for Saturday. I forget what day it is today, but we have it rescheduled for Saturday. And he really supported me and checked in on me and made sure I was doing okay. So I think that's a check in a positive box. Like I'm excited about that. So
absolutely, that sensitive empathy side and listening side to what you're going through is so key. And you know, it's so in one way it's so cool because there's a lot of people that I've heard that kind of got together prior to all of this self-quarantine and now they're living together. Or there's also, on another hand, a lot of relationships that are being tested during this time frame. Like, I'm wondering, is there going to be a lot of divorces coming out? And even if you're in your Hamptons house, child, please. I'm here in my solo apartment, just dandy fine solo. But I think you did it right, actually, in the way you did it. And you know, you can check in here and there, and it sounds like he's a good guy.
He's definitely winning points on my end. So, yeah, I actually would like it if he moved in here.
Okay now, wow.
And then went home. No.
Be careful what you put into the universe, boo. But okay, I'm all for it.
I know. Oh my goodness, I've had too many drinks today. That's why.
Oh well, cheers. We didn't properly cheers. I'm cheersing you virtually. Cheers. Yes, exactly. What are you drinking, by the way?
Oh, me and Ashley and I we did a live stream for Poco where we made a margarita, a berry margarita, and it's actually really, really good. So, cheers to Ashley. Cheers. Thank you, Ashley. It was amazing.
Love it, love it. I did a cocktail recipe on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tagspodcast, and I made a cocktail that I've had here in New York City at room service. It's a Thai restaurant in HK. And it's got a little bit of freshness. It's kind of a take on a cosmopolitan. So it's got pomegranate juice, vodka, fresh ginger, and fresh squeezed lime or lemon, and Cointreau. And it's really good. And I have that video up on that. I set it up, and it was a lot of fun. But I plan on doing another one this week with blackberries that I'm really excited to do. So I think it should be a lot of fun.
Yes. You got to send me that recipe. And are you making it on Instagram? How are you doing it?
So
are you making it for everybody?
I'm making it for the first one I made for everybody. It's on our YouTube channel. You can find it on Tagspodcast.com. I'll put snippets on Instagram as well. And yeah, if you just want to follow us, go to Tagspodcast.com and you'll see all the links. But one of the things that I wanted to talk to you about that we were talking about on Tags Podcast the other day with my co-host was there was a guy that reached out to me randomly, and I was intrigued, and he was suggesting phone sex. And I'm not sure if you're old enough to remember phone sex or if you ever participated in it, but did you?
Oh, I participated. Well, you don't know, but I have participated in phone sex.
It was kind of a rhetorical question because I knew you did, but for the people, I thought I'd just throw it out there just in case you were gonna pull like me. No.
No. That's no judgment. I was just like, oh, girl.
Exactly.
I'm of that age where I have participated in phone sex.
And so one of the things that I was telling my co-host, which one of my co-hosts remembered it and had done it before, but he's now in a relationship, and I'm not sure that Jeremy, our other co-host, was into it or not. But I used to like it because it really gets you to use your imagination and gets you in your head to depict a picture. And it really comes down to, at least for me, if I was giving instructions, to get over that initial hump of thinking about how you sound and how you may appear. And you know what I mean? And so it's that initial hump, but once you get over that, you can kind of get into it, and then you really get into the voice and the throatiness and the description, and And so there was a guy that had just reached out, and I think he said he found me via the site or the podcast. And so I participated in it once, and it was really high, and it did take me a few minutes to get into it, and I wasn't sure where he was coming from, if he was you know what I mean? In this day and age, you're kind of like, when someone's a little too persistent, you feel like, what are you trying to get out of this, you know?
Yeah.
And so my walls were definitely up, but I did participated in it, and it was fine. But he said he worked in law enforcement. Well, I don't know when he's working, because he blew up my email like after that time, morning, noon, night, 4 a.m., morning, noon, night. And there's something that my dear friends know about me. If you start bugging me too much, I pull back. You know what I mean?
Well, when was he protecting and serving if he was emailing you morning, noon, and night? That's what I want to know.
What was he what?
Protecting and serving.
Exactly. That's my point. And he also said he sent a picture over that looks and said he was 25, 6'2", and you know the cock was like 9 inches and all that. And you know when you talk to somebody and there's a certain sound in someone's age, albeit not everyone falls into this category, but you can kind of tell when someone isn't 25 and when they might be 45 or you know what I mean?
They're long in the tooth. They have some experience behind their words. Yeah,
Thank you. And so I knew, but you know what? It didn't even matter, because it didn't even matter if he didn't look like that picture. It was a fun experience. The problem for me was he kept bugging me. Can you get on a call now? Can you get on a call now? And I'd be like, oh, I'm busy. And then I stopped responding, but I'm busy. And in the end, more recently, he sent, you know, when there's a lot of people that if you don't respond they turn it into like it's you and that's, you know, you're the awful one just because you didn't respond. But it's like, I thought this was all fantasy, and if it's convenient and it works, great, but don't you have other guys, you know what I mean? That sort of blame. Yeah. And the other thing I had to say about it is, like, we shouldn't be really getting mad at each other at this time and place. With friends, loved ones, or certainly not new people, like, why are we having little snits and anger moments with, you know, people? It's unbecoming.
It's time to come, sorry. It's definitely time to come together. I came to that realization not too long ago, actually. It's not a time to actually like hold grudges, because you don't know, everything is in flux right now. You don't know how or when or, you know, people are going to be here. And I hate to like take it there, but it really is, that's the reality of right now, unfortunately.
Exactly, yeah. All right, we have to talk really quickly about Drag Race, which is live tomorrow. I can't wait.
I'm ready. Oh, yeah.
Last week, what did we think about Heidi? What's her new name now?
Heidi Aphrodite, I think is what they settled on.
Thanks to Rue.
Thanks to Rue. She still hasn't changed it on Instagram, but but I think Heidi, I'm so upset that Heidi left. She was actually one of my favorites. She was the one I was rooting for, even though I know she's the underdog. I just was hoping she was in that top 4.
I hear what you're saying, but the one thing I will say, and hopefully people that are listening are fans of the show, but I loved what Rue said when Rue looked up at the stage with the final 6. And in all of these shows, I watch another show, Top Chef, and you have your favorites. And as it pares down, in general, I like most of them, and I'm rooting for all of them. And, you know, you do know that in the back of your head that there's only one winner. I mean, it's a competition. That's the name of the game. So they have to pare it down. It is sad when your favorites start to go. But I thought it was key and really beautiful when Rue looked up at the stage at the final 6, including Heidi, whatever she's going by, and said, you know, this may be my favorite and the best ever final 6 that I've ever had on the show. And I thought, if you ran away with that, that's amazing.
Yeah, it was really touching. And then she went even further and said, Heidi, you're going to be a star. And that really solidified how much Rue loved Heidi and how much the world is going to love Heidi. So
absolutely,
she needs to move her tail to LA and get out of Ram's store.
But for me personally, because it was, you know, we're down to that. You know, this episode was down to the final, and I love them all, but I'm sorry, it was down to Heidi and Jada Essence Hall. Love that name. Yeah. Honey, It's all about Jada. And when they put on 1999 by Prince, and when Jada's not playing. She doesn't play in her interviews, that when they do the glamour interview thing, when they show him as a boy, and she gives a look to the camera, I'm all for that. And when 1999 came on, and when she ripped off her gorgeous wig and had a different short wig that was conjuring up Prince, 1999, she was like, oh, you can try and play along with me. Forget about it. And I was all for it. I'm like, step aside, Heidi, you're cute, we love you. Let me show you how it's really done. She brought Prince back to life. It was epic. Yeah.
She brought Prince and I don't know if Apollonia and all those. She evoked Prince and Apollonia and Vanity 6. she brought all that to the stage. She was not playing the radio. She was here she was here to win.
She had that whole plan ahead of time, and I was living for it. I'm in tears after every episode on the show. Okay, so we're happy with that. And then real quick, I really did love the celebrity drag race in its 3rd week. And I didn't think it could get better than Vanessa Williams the week before, but turns out it could, because I love the guys, and the guys that they had put together. It was really so fun. Did you like it?
I loved it. And remember the first week I wasn't really feeling the guys, but this week, the guys, I was here for the guys. Especially, we were just talking about Alex Newell last week.
Oh my God, we were just talking about Alex Newell, I know.
I don't know, we might be psychic. We might know what's going on with Drag Race before it even happens. But Alex Newell was on, and he slayed, and I loved every minute of it. Even the comedian guy, the straight one that, he was like a big burly dude. I forget his name, but he was so amazing. And I just felt his heart through the TV screen. And I feel like we're best friends now.
Loved it. And I actually, for people, you can watch it, but you know, new episodes are out tomorrow. And I was wondering, I was kind of putting myself in Rue's head, because they did this really cool roast. They roasted not just RuPaul, but all of the panel, and they did such a good job of roasting. And you know, in roasting, you have to kind of go there. You have to be really funny, but you have to dig, and it can be harsh. They did.
You can't be afraid.
I wish I was at that live show. It was so funny and so spot on, and everybody on the panel had such a good sense of humor, because it really was funny and a real good roast. And in the end, I think they all did such an amazing job, and I was wondering, I wonder if they all could have a tie or win, and sure enough, he awarded all of them.
3-way tie.
Yeah. I mean, Vanessa deserved to win hers, and that's why she won hers, just saying. But in this one, I really think they all deserved it, and I was happy. It just gives me life every Friday, and it's like 3 hours of just total fun, and I love it.
Yeah, I'm here for it. I'm glad that they all won, too. This was the one where a three-way tie was definitely needed because Alex Newell, I don't know all their names, unfortunately. The guy from Schitt's Creek and that comedian guy, they all did amazing.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, we've gone over, and I love it. Anything that
Me too.
Are you singing or doing anything that we need to know of in the near future, Kodi?
Not this week. Hopefully soon, though. I just talked to Ashley. We're gonna produce something, probably on my Instagram, but I'll definitely let you know so we can so you can be there, so we can all kiki and laugh and love and experience good music together.
Absolutely. Hi to our mutual friend Silas, who's been tuning in. Frank, Vivian, we love you all. Thank you so much. Yeah. And Kodi, I hope that soon this summer that we can at least get together, even if it's socially distanced. I'll wear a chic mask and hang out with you.
I got a beekeeper hat that I'll wear.
Okay.
Don't worry.
Okay.
We'll be good.
I can do that. I love you so much, and I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too. I'll talk to you
right.
soon, boo.
Bye.
All right.
Oh my God, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been so much fun. This show gets repackaged and into Tagspodcast the next day. You can watch it on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tagspodcast. And all of the links and the people that were on the show, I will put in show notes beginning tomorrow morning so that you can follow Greg McKeon on his OnlyFans, and you can follow DJ Dawson on all the good work that he's doing, and of course, Kodi. We love Kodi. And in the meantime, continue being safe and healthy and mix it up for yourself. I love doing this show, and I have a new show next week with Tagspodcast. I will see you soon.